Hey guys, welcome to another live streaming here with Rose from Encoder Fashion. And today we're still doing the most exciting part about making these fairy dresses in CLO 3D. Today we're going to continue where we left off, which is last week was part 2. Now we're going to get on to part 3. So it's gonna get more and more in depth as well as more interesting. The more we do, the more we get into explore the realistic garment versus in a 3D world. Okay, so today I'm going to explain a little bit about realistic and non-realistic about the zipper of these dresses. So if we look at right here, I have 5 dresses, and if we look at for the top part, I pretty much have the same neck design as well as the armhole. And if I let me show you the back of the dress here. So here we have sequins apply onto the back of the dress as well as the dress hem, and we have various dress hem because most of these dresses are actually started with one dress. So let me cut back to the first dress here. So this is design number 1 with the short and flare, almost like a half circle bottom part. And here we come to the second one. It's more like a symmetry part. No, oh my goodness, geometry part. And then the third one, we have the pointy front and back dress and so on. One thing that I want to emphasis on real and non-real dress here. So let me get back to CLO. All right. So before we're gonna do that though, I want to point out a couple of things, guys. Here in Encoder Fashion, we have a membership opportunities for you guys to support Encoder Fashion. And if you signed up, so $2.99, $4.99, and $24.99, those are 3 level. I would recommend if you are interested in learning in depth about pattern making for women clothing. Sign up for $4.99. I have many pattern making courses as well as sewing and emphasis on using clothes 3D. So I have from beginner to advanced and tip and trick from essential to kind of fun thing to do. Like say today we are going to do a lot of fun thing with creating this fairy dress, but at the same time you can also go in depth and focusing on a real life pattern, which is sewing blazer. And by the way guys, I'm working on this blazer, making blazer
Okay, then.
pattern here in the future. It's coming up really soon guys. So right now I have this member only how to sew blazers with lining and pocket, which is quite difficult if you first starting out in clothes 3D. So this is kind of advanced clothes for clothes 3D. However though, this course is like a hands-on. When you follow along, you finally finish not only learning the material, but you also be able to sew the garment because I'm doing like step by step until the end of the course. Okay, so as long as you follow along, at the end of the course, you know how to sew that blazer. On top of that, if you have any questions, just leave a comment beneath the video under the description here, and I will get back to you and answer whatever question that you have, either about making pattern or technical issue while you use clothes to sew the blazer. Okay, so now get back to here. I also have free courses under Encoder Fashion, and if you have any question, you can come over here, type in Encoder Fashion here, and then tap in the search button right there. You can search any topic you want to talk about clothes. Let's say pleat skirt. If I type in pleats and then press on search, you will see a bunch of pleat tutorial focusing on either sewing skirt or dresses and so on. And another thing, this is right here, I have this sleeve cuff pleat, which is it's essential for us as the designer. We want to know how to, for example, sewing the pleats so you can create the amazing sleeve cuff with pleats as well as zipper. So to create any fancy dress shirt, you must know how to do pleat and cuff, guy. And that's just essential for us as a designer. And also zipper. We have zipper with flyer, invisible zipper, and so on. So that the one I mentioned about realistic sewing. So those are essential. However, though, get back to CLO here. So I'm going to explain a little bit about zipper and realistic versus non-realistic. For example, this right here. So I'm calling it a fairy dress. This is because the avatar size and shape are not real, because if we look at right here, her bust is huge and her waist is so tiny, because I went ahead and changed her waist into, I believe, either 50 or 60 centimeter. However, though, we can check that and find out for sure. Or you can also watch my live session part number 1. You will see the first video on how to change the avatar size. It's so easy, guys. You do not have to leave CLO. You pretty much modify her from her face makeup to her figure. Do it all in CLO, okay? So let me check something here and get back to you. Alright, so this right here, if I rotate her to the back, okay, so this is the back dress, and I'm going to apply sequences. In fact, let me show you the finished dress here. If I look at her back dress here. Alright, so this is non-realistic, because the realistic way of dress, you would apply zipper right here, either on the center or on the side of the dress. However, this dress is just for the concept. I'm not, spending time on doing any zipper. So what I'm saying is, this dress is for the concept, and you can actually see how the dress fit, and you don't have to spend a lot of time do the zipper. And not only that, it actually, you can apply more sequences as well as any design that you want to stack on top of the bag or on the side. It has no limit to this point. Again, this is a concept, not a real dress, okay? So I'm going to minimize that. All right, so now right here, back to CLO. When I look at this dress right here, we have a little bit issue here. So this part here seems like they are not fitting really well. So I'm going to come over here and then check that out. So this is the back side of the dress, and let's find out. However, though, I'm going to let's change this to monochrome here. So textures. First of all, guys, this live session here is for beginner, which means I will walk you through everything that I'm doing here. Is quite basic stuff, from explaining certain tools that I use in here. For example, I use a lot of this 2D tool here, from transform pattern tool, edit pattern tool, and all these tools here. I use them all the time, because as a pattern maker, we want to understand most of these tools here. And see, on top of that, if you, let's say, if you drape this dress onto the avatar, you probably still use some of these tools, but not as many. But if I literally draft the pattern onto this workspace here, I use a lot of these tools. So this 2D pattern making tool, and as well as some, let's say I want to come over here to this info icon here, and then I want to select that and come over here and click on this show ruler. And this ruler right here, guys, it's super useful because when I want to create a guide to align my pattern along the guide there, I can simply click, drag and drop over here to create this guide just like that. And also I can create guide from left to right, and this guide allows me to align to my pattern. I can adjust the guide to pretty much snap onto the pattern just like that. And I can also right click and then I can lock guidelines or delete guide like that, or I can just right click on the page, unlock or lock the guides. So that is another pattern making tool that I use it all the time when I'm making pattern, like in the real life, because on a cutting board we do have ruler and we also use ruler, and CLO is designed specific for that. It's super useful, guys. All right, so let's figure out this issue here. Okay, and first of all, guys, if you guys are new to CLO, don't be afraid to explore all these tools here. I mean, not all, sorry, I shouldn't use all because you have so many tools, and some tools not apply to you or to your specific thing that you want to do. For example, for me, a pattern maker, certain tool I use all the time, certain tool in here I don't even touch it. So we want to know what we need as a designer. If you want to do, interior design, you probably use certain tool different than what I use. And pattern making, I use, let's say, zipper tool, I use notch tool, I use annotation tool, edit pattern tool, internal polygon tool, all those tools that's a pattern maker would use. All right, so now get back to fix this issue, because it shouldn't be clunky like that, okay? And I'm going to go to back side the pattern here. And let's use this edit sewing tool and click on this. So if I click on right here, the sewing here is missing. So I'm going to adjust that sewing, see hopefully it fixes. And then let it sync. Simulate. Alright, so it looks better. It actually fixed. Next, I'm going to let strengthen so I'm going to strengthen the pattern here, and then let's simulate it again. So as you can see right here, when I strengthen the pattern, and let's stop the simulation here, and you can see the yellow line alongside the seam here, which means that this right here we have fabrics. So that's another thing about realistic and non-realistic. So in close 3D we do need the fabric here to stabilize the entire garment. But in real world, this back pattern here, since it's backless, it should not have any fabrics in there, okay? So it would not make any sense at all to actually have the fabric in the back here. So before we go any further, let me press number 2 here, and then let's see what we want to achieve here. So this is a first dress, okay? I can see that I'm finished except applying the sequences around the neckline as well as the armhole, and here the back right there, okay? Also the hem here. Now let's create dress number 2. So to create dress number 2, we want to create this hem right here. We're gonna bring this down right below her knees a little. All right, so to do that, let's come over here. So first of all, I'm going to press on number 2 here, and I'm going to come over here to this history panel. So history panel is super useful, guys. I'm going to snapshot this dress number 1, okay? So what that does, when I snapshot the dress, I save the entire pattern and the avatar. So I'm going to let's name her, right click and then select rename here. Let's say dress 1. Alright, and then I'm going to close that history tab for now, and I'm going to create dress 2. Alright, so dress 2 here, we are going to extend this. So simply use this edit pattern tool. I'm going to click right here, and simply let's right click and then select extend here. So we want to select offset pattern outline, and I'm going to extend that to, let's see, from here to here, maybe roughly 20 centimeter. Let's type in 20 centimeter and see how that go. So 20 centimeter, probably about right, but I'm not too sure. We're gonna find out. So I'm going to select the create internal line here for now and come down here, perpendicular. Let's try that. And then I'm going to click on OK. Alright, that's about right. However though, this is not the dress hem that we want. So let's go back and look at the dress hem here. So here we kind of have this come down here all the way, not stuck up here. Alright, so let's go back and let's try to fix that. Let me see, maybe we gonna remove this point here and see if that go. Yeah, that would do. So remove the point here, and that looks more like it. So another thing here, guys, this is like a paper and pencil here. We are drawing, except if we have this, let's say the sewing messed up or twisted, it won't work. So if you guys familiar with Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator is also another software that you can use to sketch the clothing. But Adobe Illustrator cannot generate pattern. However, though, Claude does. What this means, you have more effective using Claude to sketch the pattern. This pattern right here, I'm sketching it. I'm testing it onto the avatar. But at the same time, if I want to print this pattern out, I can. And test out on a real body, okay? Alright, so now I'm going to, let's simulate here to see the effects. And that could be it. So I'm going to stop the simulation. Okay, let's compare a dress here. Alright, so now right here, this is dress number 2. That looks about right. I'm going to come back over here and let's finish sewing. So let's use this edit sewing tool here. And we are going to simply click and drag it down here. We want to update the sewing. I mean, if you want to have the split in the front or in the back, you can too. But for this design, we want to have the front shut and also the back. Alright, so I'm going to kind of click off or click on the transform pattern tool here and then simulate one more time to see the effect. Alright, looks like we created dress number 2, guys. Next, I'm going to press on number 2 here to see the front view. So number 2, you get to see the front view of the avatar. If you press on number 8, now you get to see the back view of the avatar. Let's click on number 2 here. Now we're going to save the dress number 2. To do so, we'll go to history panel here and then click on the t-shirt icon. Click on that, and I'm going to let it synchronize. So my computer need a little bit of time to kind of save each state. And if you guys have the same problem, be sure to not click it too many times, because if you click it too many times, it crashes. So mostly click one time and then wait until the computer sync. If you click it multiple times at one, you could crash the computer. I mean, yeah, it could crash the software. Alright, so now I'm going to rename this to dress number 2. And then Let's close that history tab once again, and remember to save this. So Command or Control plus letter S to save. Alright. So now we're safe to create dress number 3. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to go and take a look dress. Okay, so dress number 3, we want to remove the point over here to create this shape, pointy front and back shape. I'm going to minimize that. And to do so, use this edit pattern tool, click on it to select. Then we want to click on this point here, press on the delete or backspace on the keyboard. The same right here. Click on it, press on the delete or backspace on the keyboard. Now we just created dress number 3, guys. How cool is that? And let's check the sewing. The sewing looks amazing. Perfect. And let's press on number 2 here and simulate one more time. Okay. Next, we also want to save the dress. To save the dress, once again, go to the history tab and then click on the t-shirt icon once again. And we're going to save this dress number 3. So right click, select rename, and then type in dress number 3. Alright, now I'm going to close that once again. And Command or Control plus letter S to save. Alright, so next, let's double check. Okay, this is a little bit tricky. We want to create a point right here and also remove some point over here. How can we do that? Let's go find out. Alright, so the point over here, we're gonna create point right here. First of all, let's add point right here. I'm going to use this edit pattern tool and then click one right here, right click, and we want to select this split right here. Alright, so based on the dress, I want to see how much is that. So it's roughly 1/3 from here. So we are going to create 2 points right here. So to do so, we'll come over here to split, uniform split, and then we want to increase 1. So right here we have these 2 points, and we want to remove some of the point and then leave some of the point. Okay. To do that, I'm going to simply click on OK, and we'll also do the same here. Simply click right here, right click, and then select split, and come down here to uniform split and increase that to 3, and then I'm going to click on OK. Alright, so next we want to remove this point. Okay, click on it, press on the delete or backspace on the keyboard to delete. So it seems like we don't have enough because this have to be a little bit longer. It's up to over here. So we can actually bring that up. Let's see. So roughly about to where we started up here. Maybe increase about maybe 10 more centimeter. So we have 2 options here. We can either click and then drag it up, or we will create another point here, like 10 centimeter. I'm going to create another point here. So once again, use this edit pattern tool, and then click right here, right click, and then select split again. And this time we want to change the value here to 10, and then click on OK. right here. We want to do the same. Right click and then select split. And if we look at the preview here, we have blue and yellow line. So yellow line here, this is the value that we want to change, because this right there, we want to change from the bottom and then to up. So I'm going to tap and turn here, then press on the tab key to confirm, and then click on OK. Next, we want to click on this point here to remove. And let's find out if this one works. All right. Okay, now we have to update the sewing here. I will use this edit sewing tool, and then click right here and bring this up. The same right here. And then let's assemble it one more time. Alright, so there it is, guys. So what it does is it allows us to create many concepts of the garment, as many as we want, really fast, and you get to see the fitting onto the avatar, which is amazing. I'm going to save these as well. Click onto the history tab right there, and then click on the t-shirt icon, and this is going to be a dress number 4. Alright, I'm going to right click and then select rename, then dress number 4. There you go. And lastly, we are going to create dress number 5, guys. So to create dress number 5, here we are going to take a look at a dress. Alright, so dress number 5, we are going to create line right here on this side. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to create 3 more lines, and let's see the line roughly 4 centimeter or 5 centimeter in between each one. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so this is important. To create any internal line, we want to remove the points that we don't need here. The center point here we don't need. Simply click and then delete, as well as here. Now we are going to create internal lines here. Simply click right here, press on shift, click right here, right click, and we want to create 3 internal lines. Simply click on this offset as internal line, and then we'll change the number offset here to 3, and then distance individual, and then the offset from here we want to change that to selected line. Okay, and we want to change the value here. Let's say 5. Press on the tab key, 5, then press on the tab key, 5. So for some reason, looks like my preview doesn't appear. I'm going to, let's have a look at here. So this is sometimes it's happen if, let's say if my computer is hot. No, it isn't. But for some reason it doesn't show. 5 centimeters should be enough. Let me cancel, and then let's try again. Click just one, right click, and then select offset as internal line. Let's change this to 5 centimeter. Okay, so now it's working. Alright, let's increase that to 3 here. So 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to simply click on OK here, and we'll do the same here. Right click and then select offset as internal line, and then by default I have 3, and then all distance, and then change it to 5 centimeter. That works just fine. Click on OK to confirm. Alright, so now we want to cut this and apply the transparent fabric onto this to create these effects. Okay, so this is the effect that we want. Let me see the back side of the dress. So right here, this is the effects we want. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. So by default, I have these lines are selected. I'm going to right click over that and then click on cut and sew. I will do the same here. My key selects this, or click on one, press on shift, click right here, then right click. We want to select cut and sew. Alright, so with this, now I can apply the transparent background. So trim right here. So first of all, I want to see which side of the dress that I have. So right now is on the right side of the dress. So the right side here, so front left, front right, right here. So we want to apply trim over here. To the right and right here. Alright, there you go. So now we have an issue here. So this point right here, it should connect it over here. So let me go have a look and then see. However, this is still not bad as a dress either. Once again, guys, this is a concept dress. It's not a real dress, okay? You can apply anything you want. Alright, so right now we have this point right here to over here. Let's see. So right, okay. We actually need to remove some of this. So I'm going to apply this to right here. And then we want to change a couple of things here. So we probably should like kind of drop this as a side a little bit because this has become a little bit too short. But hey. And right here, how can we fix this part? Alright, so this part right here, we come from this part and to this part. And we want to remove first of all, let's bring back the fabric here so we get to see. Yep. So let's apply transparent fabric here to the right side. So what we can do here, we can actually drop this hem down a little bit lower to create these effects that look exactly like the first dress. However though, first of all, I'm going to try and apply some sequences and to see how it looks, okay? So let's unstrengthen the garment and let's apply sequences. Alright guys, apply sequences is like you apply top stitches. It's the same thing. All we need to do here, come over here to this top stitch tool, and then you can select this either free top stitch or segment top stitch. It's up to you. And we want to select these sequences. By the way guys, I have a tutorial on how to download free item from CLO Official Connects, and they have a lot of sequences or many other accessories that you can download for free. If you are a member of CLO 3D, you get to download all the accessories from shoes, sunglasses, earring, and And in this case, we can even download trims. So right here we have many sequences that you can actually use for your design. Let me drag and drop onto this object browser. And you can apply onto your garment and then see how it looks. So first of all, let's select that sequence here, number 9, 11 button, or you can click and drag and drop the different sequence. Let's see, try number 5. So right here also cute. And number 7, just click and drag on top and let's try another one here. So we have 5, we have 7, 9. Let's see what else we want to try. 9, 5. Alright, so let's try this 9-5. Click on this, and then we are going to use the free top stitch tool, and I'm going to click and then pretty much apply onto it. And once again, guys, let it sink. And I'm going to click and then so right here, and right here. And I also want to apply here. I'm going to remove this or move this down a little bit, guys. Just like that. And I'm going to remove some of the sequence that I didn't want. So this one right here, I'm going to delete that. We want to apply the top here and then down here, just like that. And then right here, they continue applying it. Just like that. And look at over here, we also want to apply the back side here. Let's bring this pattern down as well. And then select that free top stitch tool once again, click right here. And as you can see right here, now we have these perfect sequences that apply onto the garment. And not only that, you can also go in and change the color to whatever color you want. Let's see if I want to change the color here to, let's say, a little bit goldish. So go to color, click on that color chip there, and then grab the gold color-ish here. And then click on apply and close, and right there. Next, let's adjust a couple things here. Let's see if we want to apply on top the next first, and then we can see from there. So right here, I'm going to use that free top stitch tool once again, then click, and we want to apply over here, and apply right here, right here. Also, we want to apply in the front part, just like that. And let's do on this edge as well. Alright, that's actually looking pretty good. Let's apply it right here as well. That actually looking pretty amazing, guys. Let me stop that from now. And I'm going to press on Command or Control plus letter S to save here. Okay, it looks like the time is up, guys. I just want to thank you guys for being here, and I will promise to stream again next week unless anything happen, because during summer sometimes we take a vacation and stuff. However though, if you guys have any question, please leave a comment below the video. I will promise to respond as soon as possible. And thank you guys so much for being here, and have a actually a great weekday, guys.